II, Volothan Modulus Tautology. Here to drop a video on y'all. Let me see what time it is. The time is, cut that off. Bang, 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 bang. Shout out to Black Squad. Let me start there, right? Shout out to, it's 11 o'clock. So I get this up in the next half hour. 11:01. Record 30 minutes. Get up on the internet. I'm gonna put this on YouTube and Facebook. I'm not prepared. I'll write down the whatever number this one is. I know I'm not at 500 yet. 500 videos. I'm trying to do 1,000 before the end of the year, but that's not going to happen. I'm only going to get to, like, hopefully I can get to, well, it's 30 days in this month, so maybe I can get to 530 or something like that. I try to do one every day, but y'all know how it's yeah. If I had the teenager with me, we'd be banging them out because we have a lot of ideas when it comes to making videos. But when dealing with the black media, right? It's whack because y'all listening to the mainstream media acting like they black. So yeah, I'm playing a little Animal Crossing. It's telling you the time right there in the lower left hand corner, and it's date stamping this video right here, December 2nd, 11:30 p.m. at night. So I put this up tonight, and then hopefully y'all see it tomorrow. Like, subscribe, share. Like I said, I'm gonna put this on Facebook and on YouTube. Even though I'm focused mainly on YouTube right now. Shout out to Black Squad. Black Squad Kenyatta had a real good video the other day. I shared it on my Facebook page. Talking about immigration. And we definitely have a migrant crisis. And I've been talking about it myself for 4 years now. Ever since Biden took off, as soon as he took office in 2020, well, 2021 is when he officially took office. But 2020 I already knew the fix was in. I was a manager at Rite Aid. It doesn't matter. Y'all know it by now if y'all follow me on my other videos. I was a manager at Rite Aid Pharmacy, and yes, I put up a sign on my door. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. Intolerance will not be tolerated here, or something to that effect. And of course, they fired me as soon as December 20. Well, actually, they waited until January, until the inauguration, to fire me and promote my immigrant assistant manager. And Muhammad, he's a good dude. He's a family man. I got nothing but respect for him. Old head. He was like 80 years old, so they wanted me to crack the whip on him, and because that's how the white liberal really is, right? He'll act like he's your friend, so he was acting like he was Muhammad's friend, and was trying to get me to quote unquote crack the whip on him. You know what I mean? Like old head. I was in much better health at that time, and they let me go. So that's why I'm like, man, fuck the Democrat Party, fuck them forever. Like that's just me though. I'm not a Republican either, but I do respect the black Republicans. Like we have to go way back in time, of course. Frederick Douglass, Booker T. Washington, and Carter G. Woodson is the first three that I've been working on with my son. Those are well distinguished black men, and I'm reading their works and orators of that time, and that's where I began to understand the brotherhood. Well, actually, let me make sure the fatherhood of God and the brotherhood of man. Now, whether it's mankind, manhood, man power, it's up to your interpretation of the triadic epistemology. Now, I'm being attacked for speaking with such colloquial rhetoric, and then that's mainly the fools because they don't understand what I'm saying. They don't understand that mathematical definitions. Um, yeah, I was playing a little, you know. No, I got a visitor. Okay, they don't understand that mathematical. What am I saying? Mathematical definition, axioms, definitions, and theorems. They all are based on logical colloquialisms. So the moment I started to explain real mathematics using the art of logical thinking or the laws of reasoning, the fools want to attack me, talking about I'm a Trump supporter. It's like God, dang it, man, I'm getting tired. I'm tired of y'all, right? And I'm seeing that across the board, and that's what Kenyatta's last video was about. Shout out to him. I mean, that was a funny video, because we now Trump is coming after the immigrants and kicking them out, and especially the illegal ones. You should have got your paperwork right but Biden was promising you that he would win, but even your own immigrant friends that have their paperwork in order, they got their green cards in order. They called the cops on them Venezuelans, because them Venezuelans came up here out of control. And there it is. Is that a teddy bear? Gotta work on my vision still. Oh, it's a frog. Oh, that's Huck. I know Huck. Huck is from another island. Huck was on my son's island at first. I don't think he's still on there. But Huck was one of the original people. So, yeah, what's going on, Huck? Nah, I don't need you, fam. Maybe I'll come find you another time or something. All right? It was good seeing you again, man. Welcome to my island. This is my island. The other island was my son's island. And I know you don't remember me or know me or whatever. Like, it's all good. But I'll talk to you later. Yeah, see you later. Yeah, this game's for kids. And let me go over here and show y'all. Let me come out here. Like, one of the things is the stock market, and you're actually trying to teach the children management, business, and economics by selling turnips. So I got a whole bunch of turnips I got to sell on the price. I'm waiting for the price to get. I paid maybe $100, $100 for 100. The stack of 100. Each one is a stack of 100, I think. Yeah. And so I have this many turnips that I sell. And of course, if I could sell them for 200, I double my money. If I could sell them for 500, I'm 5 times the amount of money that I spent on them. Basic mathematics. It's a cute little game, built-in stock market, but we'll call it the stock market game. And I'll go into my save mode. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, I'm gonna share a little Tim Black today. So I do like to share Black media when I'm sharing these to Facebook, because that's my main audience is, foundational Black Americans. Right now, foundational Black Americans, we are being attacked by the Pan-Africans, because they really, they can't decide. Pan-Africans can't decide if they are Hoteps or Black Israelites. Like that's y'all issue. Like, y'all need to keep that between y'all, right? And y'all leadership is all messed up. And so y'all come in at B1. Like, I have to add the B1 first, because when we say B1, we saying black, brown, beige. That's the order. It's not to be colorism, right? Color. What do they call it? Colorism or something like that. To say that the real dark-skinned Africans or blacks are, we're first, and then it's the brown. Like myself, I'm actually, I like to say I'm a deep reddish brown, because I do turn reddish. I am a reddish brown more so than a brownish red. So I'm a deep reddish brown Indian, Like I can trace my origin all the way back to prior to 1526. Now we'll get to that date and explaining that date again, right? 1526 is the date that foundational black Americans use to say with the war, that's when the war began. That's when that was one of the first slave revolts, right? 1619 wasn't a slave revolt. 1619 was the date that they say the slaves first came, which is no, slaves was coming prior to that. Black people have been here prior to 1492. That's what we're saying. Were they 100% African blood? And it's like, that's where we're still messing up. Because we're saying we're African, even though we know that on year 0, which is the year of our Lord, that's when the Messiah, the Christ, was born. Hence, that's why it's 2025, the year of our Lord. Christ was born on 0, where we now say that this is AD, but science wants to, there's no scientific proof that Jesus was God, and there's no scientific proof that the Messiah or the Christ really existed, right? Might have just been a regular old man, and this is where it's like, dude, whatever you want to believe, whatever your faith is, do you, but you know what I'm saying, like, don't try to use the scientific method or methodology to disprove psychological ideologies, right? Because that's where we're in trouble, because racism in a form called white supremacy is actually a psychological ideology. We use concepts to explain why white people will think they're superior to everybody else, and hence with their superiority, Santa Claus is white, right? And we do say, hey, as black people or brown people or even beige people, right? We do say, you glorifying Jesus, God, being white, you glorifying Saint Nicholas being white, right? That has a negative mental concept against black people. That causes anti-black inferiority, right? That causes a black inferiority to, and it doesn't with me, but this is the psychological ideology of Western, right? Eastern philosophy is different. Now we want to give it all to, China, Japan, etc., etc. Like Africa has nothing to do with Eastern philosophy, even though everybody wants to claim that humanity is African, that everybody came out of Africa from one source and went all around the world, and we mutated into what we are today. But hence, now still everybody's 100% African, and we need Africa to be the center of the world. Like, all right, so y'all want to say that Egypt was once Babylon and Babylon was destroyed. All right, cool. All right, like, so, but now it's America's about to get destroyed. It's like, all right, see, why y'all coming? We over here chilling. Like I say, I'm playing a video game. Let me hit that again. All right, I'm supposedly playing a video game, but I'm gonna share a little Tim Black, and he's kind of what is Tim Black gonna talk about on this video? Because he's being attacked too, because we're neither Democrat or Republican. We are independent. Isn't that a beautiful? Can't we be friends? Like, that's why I'd rather be, but I keep my content PG-13. My son is 14. And I'd rather talk about the games that we play. But I don't play all just kiddie games. Right? I try to play And then that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go into the video, and then I'm gonna come back to a different video game. All right, so that's how we'll do it. Let me mute that, and then I'll go right into it. Thanks for listening to my little rant just now. Like, subscribe, and share, and I'll be right back. Let's be friends.
Dangerous show.
An act of terror. That's what the president is calling an assault on 2 National Guardsmen in the nation's capital. So the 2 soldiers remain in critical condition this morning after police say they were both shot at point-blank range, just blocks away from the White House.
We saw one National Guardsman being wheeled out on a stretcher, and he had a device helping pump his heart, it looked like, doing automatic like CPR, and his face was covered in blood.
The 29-year-old suspect was tackled at the scene after a brief exchange of gunfire. Law enforcement say he came to the U.S. from Afghanistan about 4 years ago. In response, the president vows to crack down on immigration even further.
We're not going to put up with these kind of assaults on law and order by people who shouldn't even be in our country. We must now re-examine every single alien who has entered our country from Afghanistan under Biden, and we must take all necessary measures to ensure the removal of any alien from any country who does not belong here or add benefit to our country. If they can't love our country, we don't want them.
We've got CNN senior White House reporter Betsy Klein here now. Betsy, we heard the president basically condemning this as an act of terror, but also expanding his concerns to immigration more broadly. I think you.
Yeah, I want to pause right there, man, because first of all, fam, I wanna let's have this conversation together. Let's try to unpack this together. I don't see nothing wrong with that. What I mean is, I don't see anything wrong with Donald Trump saying we need to really vet people before they come in here. I don't see anything wrong with that at all. And I believe anybody in his place, any president, would have said something similar. Yeah, I believe that Obama would have said the same thing. You know, if he was president and a person seeking asylum, we brought him in, they were, you know, and they did a terrorist act, we say, hey, we got to be careful about who we bring in. I think that's fair. I think that's what he would do. I think Bush, I paid attention a little bit to politics under Bush, and I'm thinking same thing. I think Bush would have been that way. He would have said something similar. I don't know about Biden. I don't even know if Biden was really presidenting when he was president. Was he really president when he was president? I don't know. But what I'm saying is, people are pushing back on this very natural reaction that I think anybody would have. If you had a group of people that come into your house, say you had a party at your house, and somebody stole some shit. You'd be like, bro, babe, these are all people we say we knew. It wasn't an open house where anybody could come. These are people that we knew. How well did we know them? These are your friends and my friends, and one of our friends went in our bedroom and stole some shit. Stole some personal items. That's never happened, but if it did happen to you or I know me and Mrs. Black would have to have a conversation about who we regard as our friends and who do we let in. And as we started to go over that idea, like, how are we going to protect ourselves better? Obviously, we were taken advantage of. We didn't take it. And somebody took advantage of us, and it was somebody we let in. So we should do a better job of deciding who our friends are that come over our house. Or maybe we can't have people come over our house anymore. Right? You know, a lot of things that people complain about with Trump, I get, and then there's a lot of shit they complain about that I don't get. It's all politics. It's all blue versus red, Dem versus Republican, Republicans versus Democrats. It's all, you know, feuding. When they know damn well the same thing would have been done or said in different words, in different terms, but the basic outcome would have been the same. Obama would have been more eloquent, but he would have said basically the same thing. Particularly if the people that came in were people that were vetted under the previous administration. Now, I know we got a lot of people that watch the show. We're on X, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, X, we're on YouTube, we're on Kick, we're on Rumble. That's a lot of platforms. I'm sure we got a lot of different people with different opinions. I'm saying, why is it that we normal people, we are not those political parties? The 10 Black Show, us, my audience, my wolf pack, my 10 Black VIPs, right? My dangerous crew. We are not riding for political parties. We above the parties. And when we say, hey, if someone stole something out your house after you invited them in, you be like, okay, I got to be more careful about who I invite in. Why is that crazy? And that's when the Democrats will get to talking, the liberals will get to talking, blah, 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 blah. And they'll start moving the goalposts. They'll tell me how my analogy is wrong, all because they hate Trump. If it was under Obama, or under Hillary if she became president, or under Kamala, and she inherited this situation, if it was under a Republican president that the people were vetted, and then they did this shit, you don't think Kamala wouldn't have put it on Trump? So that's one of the problems we have, man. We got people that don't keep it 100. That's the problem. We don't have that problem, do we? Let's keep going.
There it is, right? And I didn't know I cut it that short. That was actually like 7 minutes, so that was more than enough. And I'm in fair use, I'm gonna share a link in the description. Yeah, let me load this up. Hopefully it'll load up. And I'll switch over. I'll switch back over. Let's see here. Where my thing at? My pointer's right here. And so yeah, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. I mean, it was self-explanatory. I'm gonna share a link to the whole video. It's like a whole 2-hour show that Tim Black likes to put on, that he puts on, and I ain't got nothing but respect for him for doing this for 13 years, trying to be a real black media source, as opposed to what Don Lemon is doing. They fake. Don Lemon's fake. What's the girl name? The normal crew, he talks about them all the time, and this right here, man, I wish I could. I can't really see it that well. It's all good, you know. Volo's still going through his eye surgeries and all this good stuff, and you know, trying to get my life back from the. Oh, so they want me to make it 3 times or whatever. Because they want me to make it darker, but I can't really see it dark. Okay, that's good for me. Oh, geez, that's too bright now. New game. New game. So, yeah, white backgrounds don't do good for me right now. But anyway, like I was saying, plus this game here, it's a rated R game. I really, you know, the premise of the story is a white Nazi, female white Nazi, futuristic. So it is a fictional tale, but I like to say non-fiction because it is based upon, you know, real ideas. You know, I like to say non-fiction. It's just that the story is original. You know. These are things that are not happening. You know, but there are such things as fem Nazis, you know. But and for women to get offended, like they get real offended at Donald Trump because he's speaking his truth, and then my beef isn't with them. Like I just y'all go ahead over there with y'all fight. I'm a foundational black, and we sitting this one out. Like that's what B1 FBA, not like us. GNX hip hoppers, that's what we've been doing. We sitting it out. We don't have nothing to do with it, all right? But we got the mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson. He's an idiot, and what's her name? Jasmine Crockett. Those are the two, because they're tag teaming, and they represent the neo. Pan-Africans, right? They're the Pan-Africans. They're the, you know what I'm saying, our people. So because they focused on ADOS, American descendant of slavery. That's what we are, and this is what we had to go through. And what Trump is doing is the same thing against the Venezuelans, right? And it's like, knowing us and the Dominicans, the Puerto Ricans, the Jamaicans, we ain't got beef with none of them. The Cubans, nah. You know what I'm saying? The real FBAs, Foundation of Black Americans, like let me think of a real good group. I know Grave Diggers, right? The Grave Diggers. That's RZA's crew, right? And I'm gonna talk more about what's the name of that group? Stetsasonic, Prince Paul. Daddy O, right? Because Daddy O is the one. That's the crew that was talking about some Africa, Africa, right? And in that they saying it's where we from is what's more important. And that's when Rakim came along and said, no, it ain't where you're from. It's where you're at is more important. So that's been the real debate going on with hip hop. I know I lost a lot of y'all with that right there, that analogy. And it's 30 minutes in. And I don't know what's going on with this. I ain't really playing this game. I might play it off screen a little bit, but it's a shoot 'em game, But I figure I've been doing shooter games since me and the team played some Splatoon the last episode. This was on sale for $5, and I wanted to give an example of a rated R game that would be interesting to play, to see the storyline and things of that nature. But it's not for 14-year-olds, like Grand Theft Auto is not for 14-year-olds. Parental discretion is advised. So it's, hey, me and my son, you want to play a little Grand Theft Auto? Okay, yeah, we're going to do that. All right, no, we're not going to be picking up the call girls. No, we're not going to be doing, other things that don't shoot the people in the head. Try to be more like Superman, you know what I'm saying? Like, can I move? No, I can't move. I don't know what's going on. Who really cares? But it's a dark game and things of that nature. It's about Nazis and Germany and killing people and it's Wolfenstein, so it's about zombies and all types of crazy stuff, and that's what they look like right now. They look like a bunch of zombies, right? I can't move. What are you talking about? Y'all about to cut their heads off or something? You look like about to cut their heads off. My buttons ain't working nothing. I can look up a little bit. I can look left and right, but I can't do nothing. And whatever. It's kind of blurry to me anyway. Like I need new glasses. All the above going on right now. So this is Volothan Modulus Tautology. I just wanted to step on real quick because I haven't done a video in a while. And I just wanted to share that thought again because, y'all, the Pan-Africans, y'all want to be like humanity is African, and then at the same time y'all want to say y'all want to accept Dominicans being 40% African, and the Puerto Ricans are only 20% African, and therefore Cubans are only 20% African, right? And it's like, well, no, this is, and Asians, I guess, are only like 10% African, right? So, and when I'm talking about Japan and China, and you know what I'm saying, like y'all want to say humanity is African in one breath, and then in the next breath, you know what I'm saying, y'all want to go back to Africa. It's like, dude, nah, man. The Native Americans had to have been a higher percentage of Africans too. Hence the original natives was African, right? We saying that the same thing with Australians, like the Aboriginal Australians were African. All right, cool. And they first arrived there when? 60,000 years ago. Like, all right, so, but their story is a little different because the European or the colonizers didn't get there until much later. They didn't colonize Australia until much later. Hence, that's why there's a clear line with them and with Americans. Like there was nobody over here, okay, and and until and then those Native Americans were more closer to Eskimos. And all right, leave me alone, okay? Leave me alone with your colloquial rhetoric of Western psychological ideology, because y'all sound like idiots, right? But then want to be disrespectful to Francis Cress Wilson for coming up with a concept like white racism in a form called white supremacy, because y'all have to admit that showing that white people are this, white people are superior at that, white people are like does have a negative effect on black children, especially when segregation was towards one specific group, B1 FBAs, myself. There was against us, so desegregation is against one specific group, and that's us, right? It's against us, not the migrants. It's against us still to this day. That's why, 3 out of 4, or what is the percentage? I think, hold on. Man, I knew it at one point, like, because it's ridiculous. 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3, over 7, it's 70%. Over 70% of black children are growing up in single parented homes. This co-parenting ignorant shit is wasting my time. And y'all still, because she has to be the head of the household, right? Not him. She has to be the head. And then she doesn't want to take accountability for her actions, right? Hence, another Negro is her head, because she can have, multiple husbands or whatever. That's ignorant shit, right? Should he have multiple wives? No, he shouldn't. He should not be having 5 baby mamas at the exact same time, right? One at a time. Have one baby mama, that's your wife. Build your family, right? But y'all want to have multiple baby mamas and can't afford it, and be like Tupac, die with all of your heirs not knowing who their daddy was, What was that? I don't know what's going on. Oh well. Alright, I'll wrap to y'all later, man. I had fun making this video, and catch y'all up on what I've been doing, and I'll be back with another video that's going to be less aggressive towards what's that crew again? The Pan-Africans. But y'all starting to get on my nerves, because y'all want to attack FBA because of Tariq Nasheed, and it's like, dude, stop, dude. Like, Tariq Nasheed is not your enemy. Brandon Johnson is, because he's acting like he's a Pan-Africanist, and he's the main one putting his own family in harm's way, and putting all of our families in harm's way, because he wants to put immigration in the migrant and y'all are just going right along with it, and we can't forget about the LGBTQIA, who a bunch of sexual deviant You know what I mean? And then at the same time, when Eric Adams isn't with his first baby mama, and she has a girlfriend, and then they want to what? They want to get him for sexual deviancy, and that's why he could have stayed in the race because he was a third of he was going to get a third of the votes. If he would have pushed that he was FBA, B1 FBA, he would have won again. And they knew it because they split the vote between Madani, Cuomo, and him. Those were the split. It was 33% each. So he would have got at least 37, 38%, but it was too close to tell, right? They knew, but they didn't want him. They wanted Madani because it was all about, like I said, desegregation's about devaluing foundational black Americans specifically and increasing the immigration's power, right? That's the DEI. So I don't know what's going on in this game. I'll be back later. I'll talk to y'all later. B1 FBA, Not Like Us, GNX, hip hop. We can count the dough or kick a flow. We can chill out watching videos. We can act really silly, yo. But really, though, all that can end. Whether at the bars with superstars, cruising in your trooper car, I really don't care who you are. All I really need is a friend. If you can't have trust, then you can't hang with us. We respond to those that show respect with respect. We respond, we connect on the same deck with the same intellect, my man. Think quickly, never shitty if you can't understand. We boys, we boys. We can hang out on the corner with a hat selling toys. Yes, we can pretend to be Santa Claus and have fun and enjoy this holiday coming, right? But y'all want to be enemies with real hip hop. That's corny, dude. Right? Because who? Because Brandon Johnson thinks he's smarter than Karis One, right? He thinks he don't even recognize Common as one of one of the great MCs. Common's top 5 in my book, right? I'm a big Common fan. I'm not a Brandon Johnson fan. I tell you that real quick. So I'll figure this game out later, and then I'll be back to drop some more knowledge on y'all. I know I went over this time, but like, subscribe, and share. I'll do something a little bit more gameplay next time, or presentation. All right. Peace.